Wouldn't you look at that? Look at them cars go. What? Wait a minute. What? What's this? 3 classes? What's going on? Huh? You just stumbled into my Predator card. Welcome everybody. It is the Predator series, the final round here at Virginia International Raceway. I actually have seen quite a few videos of this track. It's the same track that the Top Gear, the Top Gear lads anyway, visited back in the day, and it seems quite a nice track. But I don't think they've ever seen such a weird combo as this. Craig, your thoughts?
Forward to this. Hello, I'm looking forward to this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm absolutely digging this. The finale. It is so much up for grabs here. Top 10. Sorry. The top 7. Sorry, are separated by 50 points. Usual requirements for the handicaps this week, which are going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. But the key thing is, Rob, this is the track that was opened in 1957, closed in 1974, brought back in 2000, and it's here now that it's regularly run in America. And also, for those that may be a little bit worried about some temperatures here, by the way, Rob, the time is at 4x. That's not an incident. That is 4 times speed. We are starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. After 90 minutes, who knows? We may get some pitch black racing as they come around to the nicely named Oak Tree, turn 11 and turn 12. Because, well, Rob, I don't know if you noticed it. Did you see the oak tree there?
I do. Funny that I do. Funny that I do. Yes.
Yes, funny that, right. So as they're coming up to, I just want to give an idea. If you've never looked at Virginia International Raceway, right, there's something very interesting about to come up right now. Is they're about to come up to a chicane that does not use, that's Madison Avenue. They're still on the back straight. They'll see some braking signs right here on the left for a corner that does not exist. Because there it is. They've gone past the corner that doesn't exist. That goes to a different area. They're coming up to the very famous section, which is going to be a very big hotspot for this race, which is known as the roller coaster. 14, 14A, 15, 16, 17 just gets you there. By the way, as we're getting ready, John Lang leads the championship with 3.74. Robert Gambill, 3.57. Ross Banfield, 3.53. Nick Kuhn, 3.32. Trevor Vavoski, 3.28. Robert Covey, 3.26. Gavin Barber, 3.27. And Jason Lottridge, 3.11. Oh boy, it's going to be good. But for the first 40 seconds, it's these Master Sportsmen. This is Raidillon TV, the only corner you need. And Rob, we're about to go green.
And go green they will. There will be 41 laps of this, and that will be dictated by the pace of the Mazdas. And this is the quietest start I've ever seen. Where are the others? I can't see them. Oh, no, wait, they're in the pits. They're yet to be released, and the Pro Masters will be out in any second now. Sam T. Harbour, John Lang, and Murphy Nichols ready to get out and going, and we have the following cars on track. We have Crum, Covey, Lothridge, Kuhn, Hotho, and Hutchinson out on track. The Mazda Sportsmen's out there having a nice quiet time to themselves, you know, probably sipping tea, thinking to themselves, that's a nice track, isn't it? But
very nice, by the way. In 10 seconds, by the way, 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Here comes the rest of the Mazda field. There is quite a big Mazda field out here. 9 Mazda drivers. It's a very small TCR and very small Radical, but everybody that is in the championship standings are all here. The Mazda Pros have come out. They've come out to play as the rest of the amateurs go through the snake section. The very tricky snake section on here, and it's very interesting and well, because if you're looking forward to watching IMSA or race IMSA next season, it's going to be fantastic to watch here. But through the snakes they go, do the amateurs. Robert Covey still leading the way up to the bend. You can start to see the gaps starting to like clear up and spread out at the moment as they come to the Oak Tree for the first time this race.
It'll be the Pro Mazda's race to win this one. They'll be starting 35 seconds behind the leaders. 39 seconds behind the race leader, of course. But 35 seconds behind the next car. Murphy Nichols will be the lead there, followed by John Lang, followed by Sam T. Harper, and Crum. Crum is not part of the sportsmen, he's part of the pros. But look who was running away with it. It is actually going to be these two guys, or these three actually. Simon Coveney. No, it's Robert Covey, Nick Kuhn, and Jason Lottridge, as Jason Lottridge makes a lock up and slows everybody else down. And Wolf Diaz Ricardo all the way around. Let's have a look at him.
Yeah, just having a little bit of a moment there, coming down, and it almost looks like he may have just caught up there. Oh, he lost it. Was there a little tap there?
There was.
Behind him from Hutchinson. Yeah. A little bit of a tap there. I think Hutchinson went a little bit too fast. They're coming down. Yeah, he just locked up, went over the grass, and that was it. Yeah. He hit Wolf, unfortunately. Wolf Dietrich getting a little bit of a hit there, losing a bit of time, or both of them losing a bit of time from the front runners at the moment, which of course is Covey, Kuhn, and Lottridge. Covey's starting to pull away from everybody, but Kuhn and Lottridge just staying together at the moment at the front of that field. The rest of the Mazda field here is we're 3 minutes away from the first TCRs, really. You've got Murphy Nichols, who's actually coming into the pits. Not exactly sure what that's all about. Sam Harper, though, and Kurt Crum in a little battle at the back of the Mazdas. Remember, they're the Pro Mazdas, so in theory, after a certain while, they should be catched up with the rest of the Sportsman Mazdas. And you see that Harper's having to go on the defense around the oak tree, and it's going to be tough for him to just hold on to this with that line he's taking right now.
And Robert Covey holding on for dear life, and well, I say dear life, I mean he's holding on. I mean, you can just see the TCRs are coming in to start their shenanigans. They'll be released in, I think, a next minute or two, isn't it?
2.5 minutes. The first one's released at 6 minutes in the race. So we will be keeping an eye, once everybody's out, we'll be keeping an eye on the positions, the all-important positions and what it does to the standings. I have a spreadsheet ready at hand. Shock horror. For anybody who knows what I'm like, there's a speeding penalty there, as we just saw. But I'm actually ready this week, Rob. Oh, Kurt Crum and Sam Harper having a bit of a battle. I'm watching that at the moment while we're just watching the rest of the field. It's some fantastic little Mazda driving. I love the Mazdas. Love these Mazdas. You can just throw them in, even with the synchro. The synchro mesh with the flappy paddles that they call them now.
Yeah, it's
you can slide them, you can send them. They're fantastic.
I mean, the Mazdas actually got a lot faster once they got the flappy paddles. They can actually go above 100 miles an hour now, consistently. It's scary.
I don't think that's scary. I think that's fun. What are you talking about?
Mazdas going over 100 miles an hour? Are you crazy?
Yeah, it's good fun. Absolutely good fun. Look at this battle, though. We got this. I love to talk about it, but Kurt is trying to make it through the roller coaster. They're side by side through the roller coaster. This is good fun. This is good fun as they go in, and Kurt has to lift. They get to the end of it. He's got no choice. He's got to lift. He's got to lift, and now he's going to try and fight it onto the start-finish straight. What can he do? It's a very short start-finish straight. Well, I say that. A very long start-finish straight. Think of Snetterton. It's got a little bit of a bend in it, but now they're side by side. The inside does belong to Harper, and it is a left-hander as they go into the horseshoe. Who gets it? Look at the brake markers. So many brake markers. They got to break about just before the 2 mark. The inside belongs to Harper. Can he hold on to it? If they go side by side, he's going to lose it when they come out of here into the NASCAR bend. Not sure why they call it the NASCAR bend, but a great move there from Sam Harper. 30 seconds until the TCRs come out.
We'll switch it over into the time mode. As you can see, 1 hour, 54 minutes is the key that you need to look for, or what the drivers will have to be hitting. Once that is that, then they will be released. The TCR Sportsmen will be at least. And then you can just see on your screens right now Sam T. Harper and Kurt Crum having to handle business at the very... holding it together, coming through the S's, keeping it nice and tidy. I mean, in the Mazdas, it's like one slide and you're finished because there's not enough space. This is not done that wide as the tracks.
That is the tightest part of the track there. 7, 8, 9, and then finishing off at 10 before coming to Oak Tree at 11 and 12. That is some of the tightest parts of the track there, and they went too wide. And now with the TCRs as well coming out, it's going to be a very congested track because these TCRs and also the Radicals, they're going to struggle. That's one of the places they're going to be struggling to make moves here. But as you can see with Kurt and Sam at the moment on this back straight, it is so long that you can have so much time to just make an overtake. And Harper's with the slipstream. He's going to have to go around the outside to come into the roller coaster. He may have this pulled off. He's overshot it. And he's still side by side. Has he pulled off a blinder? Sam Harper around the outside of the roller coaster. He's made that move stick. Brilliant work.
Oh, and that is Kurt Crum wanting to push it back, but nothing is comparing to him right now. Let's go down. Oh, no. Sam, me and you are going to have a discussion of what to write on your car. Oh, dear.
You okay there?
Yes, and they come down into the right hand. The car 52 battling the car number 7. Oh dear. And Kurt is actually being held up quite a bit by Sam Harper. John Lang's actually getting his legs dusted. Being able to sort of, because he was with the boys, and now all he needs to do is just push. Oh no, wait, sorry. Was he with the boys?
He was with the boys. You got to remember this. In their last laps, these are the 3 pros we're talking about right here. John Lang 209.8, Harper 209.2, Crum 210.2. Sorry, no, 210.5. Why is it 210? You get the idea. Almost a second slower just by the fact they're fighting. And you got to think to yourself, do they work together? I mean, they can see. Look at that. They can see across the field the rest of the amateurs, but they are miles away from them at the moment. And by the way, by the looks of it, I believe the TCR pros are now out as well. In fact, I missed that. The pro. He came out a minute ago. So all the TCRs are out to play.
Well, Jeremy Morrison's been doing some rallying. I didn't know the front-wheel drive TCR could do it, but he actually managed to make it. Yeah, go ahead.
We are 9 minutes into the race. The Radical Sportsmen come out in 17 minutes. We're 8 minutes away from the Radicals, and then a minute 40 after that, we get the pros. So sit back for 10 minutes. Enjoy the TCRs.
Do you know what? I'm going to say it here. Once the Predator Series is going to make its full name, when all we can hear is the TCRs coming by and these poor masses having to dive away through the S's. Oh dear. It is going to be exceptionally tight coming through the S's, especially with the Radicals coming around. I mean, it's going to be tight with the TCRs because they'll have a lot more speed. They'll have a lot more downforce than these guys have. But permission to say, oh bother.
Bob, I'm just going to give you a rundown of the time differences around here today. So we know the Mazda pros were doing 208s in quali. They've been doing 209s in race trim. Most of the sportsmen, in the Mazda, they've been doing 211s. They did a 210 in quali. They've been doing 210s in this race, following each other. TCRs, Joshua's on his own with a 159 with his time. The other two are doing 202s, 203s.
Oh, Gamble. Jeremy Morrison and Robert Gamble, I don't think they've been having the greatest times out there. They've both been making quite nasty mistakes on track. That is going to be Kurt and Sam Harper again. These two kind of just glued together and haven't stopped. Do I think Sam Harper wants John Lang to win? I couldn't tell you why, but it just what's it's written on his card. Gives me a hint as he says, "Let's go, Danny Lang." And on the back is Lang for the win. And I think Kurt does not want that to happen whatsoever. I think Kurt Crum looks to want to provide the upset of the century. But he has to make up 3 seconds to be able to do anything. And that gap is still getting slightly wider. But all John Lang has to do is continue putting his foot down, because he has been doing almost always consistently faster laps than the guys around him, or the guys that he needs to start battling. Again, Sam Harper coming in, squeezing by the 7, trying to make do with coming around the outside. Through the S's they go, having to hold position as neatly as possible. Oh, no, wait, I'm on the wrong place, haven't I? Yes, I am. Not the S's. Unless oh, that's the car 52 off. Harper, no, don't lose the slipstream. Whatever you do not lose that slipstream. He might just, though.
Oh, he had it. For a moment, I was thinking there he's not done it for a second or third time. That was insane. But it's a shame what's happened there. Losing a bit of time, but he has to keep pushing there. I can't blame him for that.
Oh, here comes the TCRs.
Yeah, here comes the TCRs. It'll be interesting to see what they do. But like I was saying, we were talking about the TCRs doing 159 to 202, 203. Radicals, anything from 140 to 145. That's quite a bit of a gap here. I always heard that Virginia International Raceway was the America's version of the Nürburgring. And I was like, oh, so this is going to be a nice long race. Yeah, I was like, this is going to be a nice long race. And I'm like, oh, now I understand. Tight corners, complicated corners, high curbs, and a tree, Rob.
That doesn't make it America's version. What?
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Whoever told you that has been telling you fibs. What? Well, I'm not saying they're actually lying to you, but I'm just like, big, that's starting to sell us juicy story. I mean, romantic, yes, but I mean, just because you have a tree and there's somewhat similar features to the Nürburgring does not make it the America's version of the Nürburgring.
Hi, tree.
Oh, hello, tree. Bye, tree.
Yeah. See? There you go. It's just like the Nürburgring when we've got Rebel Tree.
Oh, God. Between this and Sam Harper's car saying, "Go on, Daddy Lang." I've got some questions. I've got some questions for this track already. Coming through the S's now goes the car of Wolf. Now, he'll be actually one interesting to see because I'm just looking at Robert Gamble. Oh, sorry, this is Robert Gamble we're looking at now, and Jeremy Morrison. The two of them have not been having the greatest of luck. They've actually been 4 seconds slower than Joshua Wolf. Joshua Wolf has actually been putting in 2-minute flats, almost touching the 159s. But these two have just been making small little mistakes, and that's 4 or 5 seconds, and they don't really have that. And if the current pace is afoot, Joshua Wolf, he'll actually have a bit of difficulty because Joshua Wolf needs to actually be faster than he is, given the current climate, because he'll need to be at least 2 seconds faster or more, really. What was the qualifying time for the TCRs?
TCR's fastest qualifying time was a 1:47.97
for the TCR.
Sorry, for the TCR, sorry, it was a 1:59.279. I
was thinking to myself, really, the TCR went 14 seconds faster than race pace?
TCR, they just took all the fuel out and it's just running on air. I don't know.
Hydrogen engines.
Hydrogen, isn't that slower? I'm not sure.
Depends.
By the way, there has still been a couple battles at the Masters that we've missed. Wolf Di Chicotto is battling Wayne Hutchinson, but the leaders, Covey and Kuhn, they kind of just been together for a while. And by the way, 15 minutes have passed. So you know what that means, Rob? We are just 2 minutes away from the first Radicals. So I'm just looking. We're 2 minutes away from the first Radicals. The Masters are doing 2:10s. Covey and Kuhn are leading the race and just crossing the start-finish line. So if my napkin maths is correct, the Radicals will get out ahead. So these sportsman Radicals will be able to avoid going another lap down, which would be quite crucial. If that's what I'm working out here. That's happening. That's happening. They will be almost the Mazdas will be probably around Oak Tree by the time. I'm so fascinated by that corner. Can you tell I'm fascinated by that corner?
It's just because it has an oak tree on it.
I was literally checking this out today, and I was just watching. I was like, okay, so this is called Oak Tree, and I'm like, that's why it's called Oak Tree. Okay.
Funny that.
These two battles, less than a minute now until the first Radicals come out, and of course it will be I believe, I just got to check this, it will be the likes of William Fletcher, Brett Tosin, and I believe Gavin Barber, and then Isaac Snyder and Ross Banfield will be at the end. So be interesting to see, because there's like a 2 to 3 seconds difference between the two classes at the 30-second mark comes in, but yet there's a 1 minute 40 difference in the releasing. So that promises to be interesting.
Oh, here come the Radicals. I just saw them pop into the pit stop. Isaac Snyder, Gavin Barber, William Fletcher, and Brett Troson.
You ready? You ready for the countdown? Because it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the Radicals! It's so anticlimactic. It sounds like I'm like saying release the hounds. And just, But that's actually crucial, because I don't know if we just picked it up. Gavin Barber gets ahead of a Mazda. William Fletcher and Brett Tosin do not. And straight away, Fletcher locks up the brakes into the first corner. That's going to be a little bit of a hesitation there. What can he do? He has to get around the Mazda, but there's no space for him to get around the Mazda at the start of this lap. He has to wait until he gets around out of the NASCAR bend into the left hook at 4. But he has to wait from 4 into 5, 5A, 6, and 6A. I know Marshall points in America. Here's 6, here's 6A. And all of a sudden, now he can start thinking, right, power on. It's still a little bit tight. Power on. Where's the Mazda going? There we go. He loses 5 to 6 seconds getting held up there. Where else does he go?
Well, even then, he's holding up Brett Troson, who would very much like to occupy a track ahead of him. It is going to be Fletcher leading a car number 944 of Brett Troson through Oak Tree on towards greener pastures, and these greener pastures being anything else in front of them. Essentially.
I'm curious right now, Rob, because William Fletcher was 4.5 seconds behind the TCR Jeremy Morrison. When he gets to the roller coaster at 14 and downwards, he's 2.5. That's 2 seconds on a TCR. And that's not the top radicals. The top radicals are out now, by the way. Now, where have they come out? And there you go. Robert Gamble right in front of Snyder and Banfield. That's about it. Nobody else. Perfect placement for these guys. And Snyder with the what art style is that again? With that
looks like
Snyder's.
Isaac Snyder's looks like a Tetris.
Yeah. So somebody made an art. There was a type of art, like a style of art done like that in the 80s or 70s. I can't.
It probably would have been the 70s. It looks very 70s.
Yeah. I do love it, though. I absolutely love it. He's got Ross Banfield right behind him with the Racing for John stickers everywhere, which I love seeing once again. These two are in a very crucial battle, just remember, because Ross is currently P3 in the standings. Isaac, well, he's not there at the moment. He's nowhere near the stand. He's nowhere near, like, the main battles. But he can always play spoiler in this race. So Banfield's going to get by Snyder if he wants to do it, and look how wide he takes the Oak Tree.
I mean, to be fair, at the very end of this, they're going to be thinking to themselves since the end of an era, but they're also going to be thinking to themselves, golly, how did we manage to survive that? They've only done 9 laps in the Mazdas. We are on for another hour of racing here, so they'll be practically done within the next 90 minutes, or bang on essentially for 90 minutes. So they will be strapped in for another full hour of racing. Don't turn your screens away, because this is going to be absolutely great fun. So it is.
Yeah, and also
I'm saying that, knowing for a fact I'm going to be very, very squeamish when they come around to the Mazdas.
Rob, speaking of the Mazdas, we got a four-way. We've got a four-way right now. Kurt Crum's just going by John Lang out of turn 2 into NASCAR Bend, and in front of them are the two amateurs, not the amateurs, the sportsmen, sorry, Wolf Dietrich Hoto and Jason Lottridge. Kurt Crum is trying to make this move stick around the outside. Is he going to get this finished at the left hook? He had fired a left hook at John Lang, made that overtake, and now he's going to get around these two sportsmen Mazdas, Wayne Hutchinson and Wolf Dietrich Hoto. What can he do? And then they come up the straight they go, the front stretch, and there goes a radical. There goes Isaac Snyder. and he's got away. And then there's another. Oh, whoa!
Ooh.
Whoa, Ross Banfield. He goes left, he goes right, and you can see as well John Lang's trying to battle with Kurt Crum. They're everywhere. Where does Crum go? He almost goes on the grass. He's trying to make the move into 8. He's not making it. Now into 10, sorry. He's not making it. Any of these guys going to make a move under braking. Backstretch is going to be crucial for these pros. Crucial.
Oh, there he goes. Passing by the dog Bernard car number 17 of Wade Huntington. Side-by-side action. The camera's swiveling to see Kurt Crum making his stamp of approval of going up into 5th position. Saturday night, that, oh my goodness gracious, that's a car.
Gavin's got to be careful here. He's got to be careful, and you can see that I believe that is Wayne Hutchinson. No, Sam. It's Wayne Hutchinson losing the place because he has to just let that that radical, by. And these radicals are causing chaos. In fact, does Barber already have damage to the back of his car? Have I missed that? I think I have. I think during this lap he's got some damage. I just
he does.
this.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, just popped on the camera of John Lang. Yeah, he does.
Oh, that was just there. That was just there going down the roller coaster, hitting the back by John Lang, like you were saying.
Ooh, that is. Ooh. Yeah, not the best place to have an accident, but.
Ooh, Kurt Crum gets past Wolf Di Takoto. That's what he wants. But now John Lang needs to get by. Championship leader John Lang needs to get by here. The earlier he can get around these sportsmen, the better. He almost tapped the back of Hoto, but he keeps it through NASCAR Ben. If someone knows why he calls NASCAR Ben, please let me know. I'm really interested. Into the left hook they go, and around 5 and 5A as they go through. They're coming. There's 5A. Here's the snake. Lang's trying to make the move. He can't. He might be able to make it before he gets to 7. It's going to be tough though. And
he does. It looked like. Oh, sorry. That was very close, John. Make sure you keep it straight and narrow. Oh dear, that was very close. That was too close for comfort there.
Can we just have the whole Predator series at VIR next season? This is just already delivering the edge of your seat.
This is giving me a heart attack, man. Look, I want to live. I want to live past 30. You know, just give me that much, all right?
You don't want to go past 30. Trust me.
Oh, come on, now. I'm not going to have a midlife crisis. I probably will. But, it's heart attack inducing, this stuff. But we do see a nice stick and a row of Mazdas. That's 4th through to 8th, I think. Yes, it is. 4th through to 8th. 5 cars in the mix. All for position. Crum leading the charge with John Lang in 5th. 6th is going to be Wolf Di Takoto. 7th is Wayne Hutchinson, and in 8th is Sam Harper. Sam just needing to, bunny hop his way past the amateurs, but with TCRs and radicals passing by, I think he's going to have his work cut out for him.
Timing there, when you said with TCRs, as Brett Tozen goes past that gaggle of Mazdas, and he practically just gets by all of them. It feels like it's an LMP1 going around the GTEs in WEC. And that's how quick that felt right then. Just gonna have a little move there on Kurt Crum. By the way, the rest of the Mazdas have no idea what's going on. Robert Covey losing Nick Kuhn here, and Jason Lottridge just having a Saturday drive for Bombshell Motorsport, just enjoying his way. He'll get another radical by him. Radical's a little bit spread out at the moment. I think Ross Banfield might be the closest with Isaac Snyder. They are. Those two are still nip and tuck together. They'll have a couple TCR to get by shortly, but this actually feels, watching these radicals around here, feels like a really, well, actually in all the classes, it really feels like a fun track for some of these drivers to go around. I don't know if that's what you're picking up on next.
I think they're having fun, but I think the Mazdas in particular are probably having the most anxiety-induced racing ever. Simply because...
What, more anxiety than Silverstone? No, you got to think about that. Yeah, you got to think about that.
Is it more anxiety-inducing than Silverstone?
Remember, it was Silverstone Legacy the old Silverstone, and we saw Radicals go under the bridge and make late moves on these Mazdas. So,
and panic-inducing when a big old wing thing comes by you.
Well, those three cars of Harper, Holto, and Hutchinson still battling, and Harper's got by both of them. He finally just got past Will Dietrich through into the roller coaster. Very nice overtaking spot. I think Sam may know this track because I've not seen anybody go for moves at the roller coaster like Sam has. So, a couple moves around, you know.
I mean, he is making the. I mean, it's the final round, so you might as well, if you're in contention for a spot, you might as well make the pass. I mean, I think, as I said before, I think his allegiance is with somebody else. I mean, I can't tell you why, but it does say let's go Daddy Lang on the side.
Yeah, no, I can't say. I'm looking at the back here, and he's saying Lang FTW. That doesn't mean anything to you, does it? No.
It's Gen Z talk. All this.
Oh, okay. Lang Pride of Bolton.
I don't know.
Well, Bolton's not local to me. Sorry. I know.
But
in all seriousness.
Yeah. In all seriousness. That. Ooh. Guess who just got overtaken? The Tetris car of number 13, Isaac Snyder, being overtaken by Ross Banfield. We'll go ahead and have a look-see backwards and see what the fuss was all about. Oh, and I can tell you why the fuss is all about. That is Isaac Snyder having an absolute treacherous time. Car wanting to jackknife and put him into the grass. Just recovered just in time to secure the car and to right it, but he's lost a position and now is chasing Ross Banfield for position on Orthodox Motorsports, leading the Pro Radical.
Yep, good move there from Banfield. A little bit of a shame there from Snyder. He's starting to get a little bit sliding. It is now 10:26 sim time, with temperatures now 31 Celsius, 87 Fahrenheit. Starting to just heat up a little bit on that track. Remember, we started at 8:30 sim time, so in 30 minutes we've gone 2 hours. So in that theory, we'll be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, Snyder's gone off. Snyder's gone off. He's lost the back of the car, and he's taking a ride. He's taking a few jumps there, and the back of the car gets a lot of damage, going over almost like a rallycross there. And he's even on more cross there. He's lost 4 seconds to Banfield after that mistake. He does have damage on the back. I think it may be superficial. No wing damage. Error should be fine. He
smashed that floor to pieces.
I mean, I love that someone says the FTW for the win. You have to be aware. And also, a TCR's gone off. That's Robert Gambill. Robert Gambill's gone off here. Not sure what happened to him. Did he get turned? Oh, just watching the replay back. You'll see it in a minute. Late move onto Kurt Crum. And as he goes for the move, he clips the grass. And the car just goes the other way the moment he clips the grass. So probably get that any second now. But leader of the overall TCR having a little bit of a move there. And of course, Gamble, that's a crucial move. Gamble is P2 in the championship. Just 17 points behind behind John Lang, sorry.
I can't believe he managed to, he was making the move and then the car just suddenly jackknifed. He touched the grass. It was very lucky that he did not hit another car though. I was surprised he managed to keep it out as best he could. But that be the kind of move that you can't be making. Not too many people are going to be happy if the race is upsetty spaghettied by a move made on the grass and then it jackknifes the car. Though we do have, Crum is actually not doing too well. He's actually not gaining as much time as I thought he would.
To Kurt Crum, yeah, it's he's now 22nd on the last count back. He was 20 seconds behind Jason Lottridge.
He's 18. He's 18 currently.
18 now. He's 18 currently. But when you think,
but that is
40 seconds.
But just more so to muddy the waters even further. That's towards Jason Lottridge in particular. It doesn't mean that he's closing a second and a half to Nick Curran, who is the current race leader. He only closed, if he comes across the line, we'll see. At 2:10.303, he was a second and a half faster, actually. So he is actually closing the gap quite quickly. But on that lap, that was on that lap alone. On the previous laps, he actually was only gaining about half a second, which is not enough.
When you think he's 30.5 seconds behind, he started 40 seconds behind. So you got to think to yourself, he's only gained 10 seconds in the first the first third of this race. So by that logic, yeah, he's gonna make that last lap overtake on Nick Crum. But is anybody else gonna be there? This is the question. You know, John Lang's 3.7 seconds behind him. Sam Hart, you know, that's an important player in the race there. Kurt does have a chance here, but remember, we have to then also keep our eyes on the other drivers. Like I said, John Lang, importantly, Gavin Barber. We talked about Ross as well. So a lot of drivers keeping eye out for, but Kurt Crum could play spoilers of that because 100 points on offer for the winner. And then it's 95 for P2, 92 for P3, 90 for P4, and then everybody else gets a point lower. So 89, 88, 87, and so on. So those top 3 positions or top 5 positions are vital for the amount of gap you get between the points. As Murphy Nichols comes into the pits as well. I'm not sure what's happened there for Murphy.
And by the way, Ross Banfield, fastest of all the TCRs, and we just saw, I think that is going to be the car of Gavin Barber coming by. Murphy Nichols has decided to retire the car.
Yeah, no idea what's happened there, but the car unfortunately has been retired. We'll try and get some news on that when possible. It's all a little bit quiet at the moment. The front two cars in the Mazdas are still battling Nick Kuhn and Robert Covey, but around the rest of the field, we are now in that situation where we're waiting to see what happens. The TCRs are currently 2 laps behind the Mazdas. The Radicals are all 6 laps behind the Mazdas. So, yeah, I think we're in for a barn burner for a finish. We have not had a Radical win a Predator race this season, yet we've got one of the Radical drivers. We got Ross Banfield, P3 in the championship, and he's not won a single race this season.
I was just thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure, didn't he not win one? Unless my mind is...
Robert Gamble, there's been 4 winners this season. John Lang's won 2, Robert Gamble won 1, and Trevor Vavosky, who's not racing today, has won the other one. So we've had 2 guys from Mazda's win and 1 guy from the TCRs. We have not had a Radical win at the moment. Robert Covey, by the way, he's got a good run on the backstretch to go side by side with Nick Kuhn. He is going side by side. They are over the little hill and they're about to hit the roller coaster, but Covey has a car. There he goes. He's got a car's width. Nick Kuhn is just going to give that up. New leader of the race, Robert Covey, will take the lead, and he's just going to be like, I'm out of here. He's got a 50-point deficit to John Lang, so if anything happens, he has a chance. He's got a chance.
Well, at the very least, I mean, he can say he's still pushing. I mean, he's still pushing at a quite big speed. I mean, on that last lap between the two of them, it's actually just been updated for Nick Kuhn, but it was the 2:11 something, and it was a 2:09.74 for Kurt Crum. So that's another second and at least 1.3 seconds taken out of Nick Kuhn's lead. So he has made up for the deficit, and he does have clean air around him. So there's a lot to play for. And while this is all sort of hypotheticals at this point, but it is going to be like that for a while, because we're kind of having to, what's the word I'm looking for? We're kind of having to play by proxy up until the very end, and then we'll know at the very end if we were right or not. It's more like watching 2 people guess. The 2 commentators are guessing where people will be, and then we'll be like, oh yeah, maybe we were right, maybe we were wrong. Maybe this was right, maybe this was wrong. We are coming up to halfway point, though. It is going to be a bit dicey, though, I think, once we get up to halfway point, because we have 2 I have, in my mind, there's 2 main contenders. There's Kurt Crum and if John Lang can have a break, he'll be the 1A contender, like sort of like the secondary contender for Mazda. And then in the Radicals, actually, they need to be letting Ross Banfield and Isaac Snyder by, because the three sportsmens, they've been at least 6 seconds a lap slower. I'm not saying they're 6 seconds a lap slower to the pros. The pros have really been putting in the fast laps, and they need to start pushing quite hard to get up to where they need to be, which is up near the TCRs and around lap 35. And then once they're up around the TCRs in lap 35, they'll be in a prime spot. Excuse me. To get past what would be the top three this is one I'm guessing, right? I know I'm rambling, but this is one I'm guessing, right?
Why? Do you know? Are you okay here? You okay?
Yes, I am. Yes. I'm sorry, I'm just ranting. Not ranting, but you know.
I'm just doing my maths while I'm looking at this, and every time I'm just gonna keep going back to my maths. Remember, I was saying, it's John Lang's championship to lose, because he has that 17-point advantage. For him to basically not win, he would have to come 11th overall.
So if he stays where he is now, that'd be 3 plus 5 is 8. He won't. If all the other classes pass him, it's game over.
Yeah, the only way he could lose the championship. So here's the permutations that I'm just working out the top of my head, and I'm sure Mike from Major Series has already done this, but I'm looking at this right now. Robert Gambo is the closest, 17 points away from him. So Robert would have to win the race to get 100 points, and then John would have to be higher than 10th, because that would give him 84 points, and then he could be 11th because on countback, because he's had 2 wins, he'd win that way. Then you've got Ross Banfield. Now he's 21 points, behind John. So if Ross Banfield was to win, well, then technically John would have to be second to last or third last. That's the only way. So like I said, it is John's race to lose at the moment, but of course he's just putting laps in. He's just driving. He's just going to see if he can make it 3 wins from 5 on the season, which would be very crucial for him. He just basically just goes around and just goes to the others. Do it. Do what you can do.
It's like talking to a broker. It's like it's like the two of us are brokers, and we're just like, yeah, we are guessing. We're guessing with your money. But no one involved. It's just us trying to guess who will win. I think it will be John Lang to win, though.
Yeah, like I said, I've got spreadsheets opened. I'll be ready at the end of the race. Do not worry. I'll be able to have an unofficial winner declared, but Mike will then tell me, no, hang on, I've got protests to deal with. But, as you do in any league, IVRA last season was decided on a penalty.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. It was one protest that decided it. Oh,
it was also the fact that the protest wouldn't have mattered had the team that won the championship not got pipped to the line. But regardless, there was a protest which everybody saw, and everybody thought that was going to be protested. And lo and behold, about 2 or 3 hours after the race, they did all the protests. That happened, and there you go. The rightful winners won the championship. So you never know. So we can't give you an official winner because it's racing, but we can give you the unofficial as tallied by my little spreadsheet. that is not official in any way the slightest. Now, Rob, I just want to put as we're coming to another 80. Well, we're at lap 14. No, not lap 14. Sorry, we are
We're on lap 19.
41. Sorry, I was looking at a different driver. Now, I know we like to talk about motorsport, Rob. I don't want to talk about that incident today because my head is hurting about that incident.
Which one?
But you know, the one in F1.
Oh, the one involving Lando.
Yeah, and then also, well, let's just get out the way. I'm not on about the Lando crash now. I'm on about the fact that the W Series had a crash there. F1 had a crash there.
Oh, yeah.
F3 had a little bit of an incident there. But it was all wet racing. Can you really factor anything in there with wet racing? I don't think so. I will say, though, Martin Brundle was... I don't know how he did this, because when Lando had his crash, all they had was the helicopter camera, and the helicopter misses Eau Rouge and Raidillon by a tree. As Lando's going under the tree, Martin Brundle picks up he's lost it. I don't know how anybody saw that.
Well, because,
he's just got an eye.
I mean, remember, Martin Brundle was a racing driver. He raced for Brabham. He raced for a few other teams. I mean, he was racing for 8, 9 years. He raced for
Williams. Hang on, he raced for Williams. Remember, he replaced Ayrton Senna.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ayrton Senna. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, like he has the credentials of a racing driver. I mean, he didn't do very well, but I mean that was because the cars were kind of like not great. But I mean, the basics of racing. I mean, he would have known a time when Raidillon was actually much worse than it was in today's day and age. Remember the old bus stop?
He was actually talking about it. He was actually talking about it during that red flag, about how the old days and how he was the chairman of the Drivers Association in '94, and they put the chicane in. There was a long talk about it. It just basically went down to, you know, tracks are dangerous, the corner's dangerous. You know, it's just one of those things, and also because it's wet weather racing, which, you know, adds up to things. So it's just one of those things at the end of the day. But also, we know that Raidillon's getting a change. We know the runoffs, you know. So we know it's dangerous. But like I said, all 3 incidents this weekend. All right, the F3 one wasn't major, but 2, still you had about 3 or 4 cars spin out and 2 of them collide with each other. All of them were caused by wet weather racing.
By the way, Crum in the pits.
Sam Harper's just missed hit the grass on the last corner.
And he's in the pits as well.
Following John Lang, and he just missed it. Yeah, I think he was trying to go for that, but yeah, you've got to help your man crush out, Sam. Just saying.
Oh dear. The further to point that, by the way, I think what was the proposal that they made that they're changing, or how they're changing it? Raidillon?
All I know is the runoff at Eau Rouge and Raidillon is being made longer. It's being made, you know, it's being expanded. The issue they also got, though, is that the spectator stand there, I don't think they can move. But I've not seen the full proposals. I just know they're expanding it. Yeah, it's been a very long day, Rob, because all I've heard ever since that Lando Norris thing, it's all about Eau Rouge is dangerous, and I'm like, but it's always been dangerous. Yeah. Where were you when Jack Aiken had the whole car destroyed in the Spa 24?
Yeah. I mean, racing is dangerous. These are the guys that accept it. But I mean, like, the one thing that they can do to Raidillon to make it safer is change the shape. Like, they don't even have to change the shape of the corner. They just have to change the height difference.
Because it's on a hill.
Yeah, I know that, but they can terraform.
It's going to take a long time to terraform that. I know what you mean, though.
I mean, do it bit by bit. I mean, they don't have to like make like whole 10 meters worth of difference. Like, they have to do it meter by meter. Like, because we all know a millimeter, you know.
Yeah, well,
you know that. I mean, sort of the thing. It's like No, sorry, I was trying to get my point out, but like sort of lost my train of thought. But what should really be happening is that they should change it. They should profile it down meter by meter, and once they get it to a point where it's still, I mean, they don't need to change the shape. Like if you have that shape under normal circumstances, like if you look top down and you look to the corner is actually not like the corner is just it's a corner. It's not even really a corner. It's more like a slight bend in the road.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about that. Ross Banfield just got past Brett Tosin. Both of them coming down to turn one, held up by a TCR, and Banfield just managed to find the inside. And we were talking about how much time you can lose at the start of the track here. He was behind Brett Tosin by half a second. He's now 5 seconds ahead of Brett Tosin, and Tosin still hasn't got through this lap traffic, and he's going to be held up again by the Mazda, and it's a late move it is, and he makes it. So now Tosin's going to catch up to Banfield.
It's confidence, really, and Ross is showing a lot more confidence in his car, in his racecraft, than Trusin is right at this moment in time, but they will be getting down to business shortly, as it is now lap 22, if the thing would actually update.
Well, speaking as well, Rob, you're talking about terraforming. Photos released of the Saudi Arabia racetrack, the street circuit that they're making.
Yeah.
And, well, they haven't got very far. And then a group of us started checking the FIA rules. Now, remember the whole debacle with the Korean Grand Prix? How it got its license for the FIA like 12 days before the Grand Prix? So they changed the rules that you have to have the track ready 90 days before an F1 race.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Literally, with the photos I saw, it's not going to happen. And then somebody said, but hang on, it's a street circuit. Street circuits have different rules. But it's like, yeah, but you can't just have a street circuit that you make on a ground and put nothing around it and say, there you go, it's a street circuit.
I mean, they're thinking of something like Monaco, which usually gets ready 30 days for the track. But that's different. Monaco has not. If you ever walk the streets, and if you ever been there, you will know, and this is for a fact, the Monaco as a place has the streets and the layout, everything else has changed around it, of course, but that Monaco layout has not changed in over 20 years. The only thing that's been changed is minute details to specific corners, but as far as Monaco is concerned, it's as we see, that is the blue shell car number 19 going wide. Nick Kuhn going wide for the 10 and 11 past Oak Tree. Keeping him nice and steady. Anyways, I mean, Monaco,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, because Saudi Arabia, it's meant to be a street circuit.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, they're just putting tarmac on a beach. That's not a street circuit.
Yeah, that's not a street circuit. That's a homologated circuit.
Welcome to Raidillon TV as we try to pronounce the difficult words. It is though. It is one of those type. It is. So I can't see it being ready in time. FIA might just be like, yeah, we'll give them an exception, but they shouldn't do. We'll wait and see.
No, well, they shouldn't, because
Jerry Morrison's towed. Sorry, Jerry Morrison has towed the car. What's happened here?
Oh, I tell you what happened.
Stuck in the wall. He's stuck in the wall.
Oh, what happened to him?
He lost the car. He lost the car on the grass going down the roller coaster.
Oh, and the grass claims a victim, and then the tires claim a victim. Oh,
that's a shame.
Oh, and that's his race over.
Wow, that's another position that it doesn't matter for John Lang. Technically, John Lang could, be last now, and be fine. So that could be quite interesting.
That's still depending on a multitude of things, but from the main thing that we understand, it would be that as of right now, he wins.
Bearing like some like
400 dimensional chess.
Yeah. Have you ever played 4D chess?
No.
No, neither have I. Is it like that weird? Is it like that version of chess they have on Star Trek? I almost said Star Wars. Oh my god!
You said
Star Trek.
No, you were. I thought you were about to say Star Trek.
I was stopping myself from saying Star Wars, and then as I was going for my head process, you were going to say Star Wars, weren't you? I was like, oh no.
Well.
Anyway. How are we doing? Because the TCRs now, Gamble and Wolf, they're only a lap down. They're now going through the Mazdas one more time, and they're only a lap down. And we know what the TCRs are like. They won't need to refuel. And from also chat that I heard from the Radical drivers, they don't need to refuel. We'll wait and see if that's true. If people have just been, trying to gain an advantage by trying to lie to people. It's like when you're on an oval and you're at Daytona, Rob, and it's like you get in a wreck and you're like, hey, so-and-so, have I got any damage? No, you look clean. Totally look clean, and you're not. They're just lying to you. And it has happened. Hello, that's a TCR going off. What's happened there? That's Jeremy Morrison. His day's not going very well. He goes to turn 10. He just cannot get the speed off at turn 10. It's a good thing there's a lot of grass around here, and he almost collects Brett Tosin when he comes back on the track. Oh, Canada, it's not a good day. Sorry.
Here's a question. Why did Crum spend 25 seconds in the pits? And why did Sam Harper spend time in the pits?
Fuel?
Really? Did they use that much fuel?
Well, the pit window might be open, and also you think about the gaps in the traffic, because the Mazdas, they don't want to be held up by cars going around them. So try and get an open space. So it makes sense. So yeah, they've come into the pits. Some of these other drivers will have to come into the pits for sure. So it's probably why Robert Covey's decided I'm just going to stay behind Nick Kuhn right now, because if I stay behind him, save a bit of fuel. I doubt he's going to clutch it, but you just never know. I also hate how I wouldn't say hate. I also dislike on this track. I was talking about before. You go up the back straight, and then you see these markers for braking, and you think, oh, there's a right-hander coming up, and then you realize that's for the Grand West course, or if you're doing the North course. It's like it doesn't exist, but they just don't move the brake markers. It's really confusing.
Cool.
Yes.
I was trying to process that. I was just like, huh? Say something interesting, and then my brain was like, cool.
Well, we're on lap 26 of 41. It's getting crunch time because Radicals are, apart from Gavin Barber, the Radicals are only 4 laps behind. Barber's now 3 laps behind, so he's the one that's got a little bit of an advantage. In fact, he's got, that can't be right. Gavin Barber has a, is that true? It is a 38-second lead on the rest of the field. On Banfield, Fletcher, Snyder, and Tosin. But that's ridiculous because
Banfield slowed down a hell of a lot in that last lap, though.
Yeah, I was talking about Barber. Sorry, Banfield. Yeah, you got Fletcher trying to catch up to Ross Banfield. But what's interesting is remember how those Radical pros, they started what, a minute 40. They are now, well, Snyder's 20 seconds behind Fletcher. and overall he's just under a minute, about 58 seconds now behind Barber. So really interesting. He's only lapping a second faster at the moment. Such is the nature of getting caught in traffic at the worst places on this track. But you can just see the speeds they carry, these Radicals. So expect Snyder. He may catch up to Barber, but that's a minute he's got to catch up to. I can't see that. I can't see him doing that. I know they've still got another 20 laps to do, the Radicals, but I can't see that happening. Can you?
What? I couldn't.
Do the maths. Are the pro Radicals going to catch up?
Hang on.
Or are we just guessing here?
Let me do the math.
Does he do the math? He does the maths as we're currently watching Banfield going around. Like I said, he's got to make up 33 seconds on Barber. And, well, he gained 4 seconds that last lap. And that just gives you an idea of what he's doing. And to be fair, he's not going to hit traffic until he gets to... Oh, that's a shame. He's going to hit it. He's going to hit it at 7, 8, and 9. No, he's actually going to avoid it at 7, 8, and 9. He's going to hit it here just around 10. Ooh, easy move there. Fantastic. Uses the curb. Very interesting curves around this place. It's the American-style curves. It's not the... So it's a little bit higher at the edges, more than like a ridge. Banfield, he's getting the better of the luck with the traffic at the moment compared to Barber. Barber's just having to go around a TCR of Gambill. So interesting battles going on as Barber throws in a 146.6. Banfield, really, he's had free air, so he's going to throw in. He may even throw in a 41 right now. I'm just saying. Banfield may throw in a 41. Joe, is it the 41? Then yeah. Let's just see. He crosses the line. If he takes out more time from Barber, this is about to get very interesting in the Radicals. The 143.2. That's another 3 seconds. That's 3 seconds he shaved off.
Yeah, more so cut off though. 3 seconds is a hell of a lot of time to cut off. And the only person out there doing 2:09s in the Mazdas is also cutting off time, but don't the Mazdas have to pit?
Yeah, well, some of them have pitted. That's why Kurt Crum's pitted, Sam Harper's pitted, Wayne Hutchinson had pitted. They're the only 3 that are pitted that are still in the race. So Kuhn, Covey, Lottridge, Lang, and Hotto still have to pit unless they somehow found a way to allow their car to run on air, which last time I checked, I don't think that was doable. Of course, the gaps are still pretty spread out at the moment, as you can see. And there are some still. In fact, I'm amazed that Nick Kuhn's managed to pull away from Robert Covey, putting in some really good times here. He's putting in the mid-11s, and Covey's just struggling with some 12s at the moment. But these two have been very consistent. But Covey, he started well to put a 209.918 at the start of the race. Been missing out on the 10s ever since, really. He's been doing 11s and 12s, so it just goes to show you the difficulty with lap traffic as well, just having to compromise your line as he loses time on Nick Kuhn. And like I said, there's no other serious gaps out there to look at. We're just waiting for the time that these drivers start to hit that threshold of, oh, it's time type thing. So strange if it happened. I gotta say, Rob, I'd love to know why there's an oak tree on a corner on this track.
You can say that about you can say that about Rebel Tree as well. Why is there a tree standing on its own?
No. Here's the thing, though, because the Nordschleife was put in and the trees grew up around it, right?
Yeah.
But you can't tell me that you put an oak tree there on that corner at VIR. That had to be there when they were making the track.
Pass.
Fair enough. I'm not going to give the name of one of the corners, but I'm just going to say it's a good thing we're not driving it today. But there's a very interesting name for a corner.
Oh dear.
Let's just say, that right-hander that doesn't exist that I've been going on about on the backstretch?
Yeah, yes.
It goes into it.
Oh dear.
People may know. People that know VIR will know the corner I'm on about. But I want to keep it PG. But it is the official name for the corner. That's all I'm saying.
Why? What for? Why did they name it that? Why did they name it that? What?
I don't know. I don't know. I do know that somehow there's been a few mistakes from Nick Kuhn, and Robert Covey has started to pull in Kuhn, and in fact they're literally on each other's bumpers at the moment. Again, that is the closest battle on the field. It's actually quite crazy to think that's the closest battle. John Lang, though, is catching up to Jason Lottridge, as we've just been seeing on the cameras. And that gap's now going down. And actually, it's a really good recovery from John Lang. Because we were really, though, the problem is, at this stage of the race, he should be 20 seconds behind Covey and Kuhn. He's only 24 on the last check, which means that he's lost a little bit of time there. We were talking about he was getting 10 seconds every third of the race. We're at that second third now. And actually, Jason Lottridge had a little bit of an off there going around turn 10 into the oak tree. And, oh no, Lang's gone off. He's overdone it. Lang's gone off. He's overdone it. And that's going to cost him a little bit of time. I think he thought he could make a late move around the outside of Lottridge there and just could not get it. So he's going to have to rely on the slipstream going down the back straight. And that will put him up to... If he gets this move done now, which I don't think he's going to be able to, but that would put him P3 in the Mazdas. And more importantly, just put him a little bit safer on his quest to win the Predator Series.
Do you know what? I think John Lang has it. No matter what.
Well,
unless he
knock
crashes.
on wood. Let's not jinx it.
Knock on wood. As long as he finishes this race, he'll be grand.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. In fact, to be fair, with right now that run out the final corner, I think he's got this on Jason Lottridge. It's going to be like taking candy from a baby. He's going to get side by side. There he goes, side by side. In they come to the first corner, turn 1. There's a radical right behind them. It does not matter. Into the horseshoe. And just like that, it's done. John Lang gets that P3 that he doesn't need, but it'd be nice to have. And now William Fletcher is getting held up by these two Mazdas. I almost call them radicals. It's getting held up by these two Mazdas and nowhere to overtake. When I do IMSA next season around here, I'm going to be worried about this because I know there's going to be a lot of drivers that are going to try and send it, and it's not going to work. I'm just pre-warning you, Rob. I'm seeing this first section of the track, and I'm worried.
Now you see my issue.
They race here in IMSA in real life, albeit without the prototype drivers. I think. I'll have to check that. I know that they have different categories at different races, but if I was to look quickly at the stats, I love that you can just look very quickly at the stats. VIR, it is just GT LM and GT Daytona. So it is the GT cars, no prototypes. And I think you can see why.
I think everybody can see why. I mean, all I have to say is the S's.
The S's, yes. And by the way, that whole issue with Fletcher getting held up there, Isaac Snyder's just decided coming. Oh my word! That was a no lift moment from Isaac Snyder there. I don't know that got caught up there. Fletcher having a moment on the final corner, gliding around 17 and 17A, and Snyder just goes okay and just full speeds it through. I don't think I've ever seen that. That wasn't even planned. That was just literally a mistake from Fletcher, and Snyder just goes, I'm doing it. I'm through it, Harry. Literal I'm through it, Harry. So he's now going to get held up, though, by Kuhn and Covey, and he's really being aggressive through the snake to get through them. First time I've seen a driver go a bit aggressive around there, and he wants to just keep on to that as he goes up the S's now. So Snyder, he's trying to push for this, but he is 27 seconds behind Ross Banfield.
And he's carrying damage.
And he's carrying damage. Oh, Banfield's got a lot of damage. What's happened to Banfield?
Really? Banfield doesn't have any... Oh, he does. Never mind.
And where was that? Was that...
That's
he got tapped.
That's not a lot of damage, but... I mean, goodbye to Isaac Snyder, who basically almost folded his car in half.
Oh, he got net-coded by TCR going around the exit of Oak Tree. The key thing is that wing is straight. That's the important thing right now. So, where are the Mazdas at the moment? They are lap 31 of 41. And I gotta be honest, I can't see John Lang winning this race anymore. The time difference it's just too much. He would have to, in the last 10 laps, basically go 2 seconds a lap faster each lap, and just can't see that happening right now. It's currently 1 o'clock sim time. Remember, we're on we're on the sun is 4x, so time goes 4 times faster than normal time around here. We started the race at 8 o'clock. It's now 1 o'clock. That just gives you an idea. So, again, I think it's going to be 2 or 3 o'clock by the time we finish this. And it is now 40 Celsius, 104 Fahrenheit out there on the track temp. That's hot. That's very hot. And that's crucial because you get to that stage and now you're thinking, can't brake later. Gotta back out of the corner a little bit. Gotta be smoother with the inputs. Just gotta keep it calm now. Throttle response. Don't need to go so aggressive on the throttle now because the back of the car is going to slide. Especially in these TCRs. I know they're like boats, but these guys in the TCRs are going to struggle right now. That livery is pretty hot. It depends which livery we're talking about, though, in all due fairness. There's a lot of very nice liveries out there today. I mean, my favourite livery of the day, Rob's going to hate me for this, is Sam Harper's livery. I just can't believe he's got that on the side and everything around it. You can see that he's trying to get the support for his buddy in John Lang, as John Lang's just literally going to almost just win this race, or win the championship, sorry, by just keeping it very calm. So, no need to worry there. Oh, it's not the Snyders. Okay, Snyders. Yeah, no, I gotta be it. I do like that from Snyder. I'd love that. I know where that artwork comes from. Just can't think about it right now, and that's what's bugging me. But hey, we'll work it out in the future, and someone will tell me, and I'll be like, oh no, I don't know. Turn to positions on the track, by the way. The TCRs are still on their lap down, but Robert Gambo can start to see the two leaders of the Mazdas. They're 13 seconds up the road. And if they're doing... Oh, they're doing 7 seconds faster. So it's going to be another 2 laps before the TCRs basically... well, I say the TCRs. Robert Gambo and Joshua Wolf. They've got 2 laps before they overtake the whole... Well, get back on the lead lap. I'll get my words out right in a minute. For the Radicals, they're now 2 laps down. And all of a sudden, the margins are starting to come in. It's lap 33 of 41, as you can tell, for the Mazdas. It is lap 32 for the TCRs. It is lap 31 for the Radicals. It's all getting very interesting. And I did realize Has Gavin Barber had another moment, or has he been carrying a bent wing for a while? It's the latter, not the former. As Barber is actually on the talk of Barber, just going to get past Robert Covey, and that will be another lap, and he'll be officially 1 lap down. So that puts Barber 1 lap down. Covey and Kuhn continue to have their little battle. They might get away with fuel. It's going to be touch and go. They've got 7, 8 laps, 9 laps to go. Just got to hold on to dear life for the rest of the race. As slowly they see... There's Robert Gamble behind them coming up. They've got Ross Banfield right behind him as well as they go down the roller coaster. I love the name of that, the roller coaster. There's always some interesting names when it comes to American racetracks. I know not a lot of them like to name corners, but when you think about it, the roller coaster, into the hog pen, and then they come to the horseshoe to start the race. Like I said, if anyone knows why they call Turn 3 NASCAR Bend, I would love to know. Because there's no room there for like some NASCAR memorial or NASCAR museum or anything. So what is the purpose of calling it NASCAR Bend? I would really love to know. You can see Covey and Crum, continue the battle at the front. And they're having a good old time. Shout out to Covey, though, with his lap times. He's just really doing well in this race. Yes, he was doing 209s and 210s earlier in the race, but now with the temperatures going up, he's just stuck it in the 211s. In the last 10 laps, he's been in the 212s 3 times. So that just gives you an idea. Sorry, 2 times, sorry. Just gives you an idea of how consistent he's been. And he's really putting the pressure on Nick, who is also in a similar situation. He's done a couple 212s, but he's been keeping it on and right here. But now comes the interesting part. That's Robert Gamble coming up right behind them, and they're not going to be contesting anything. Robert Gamble will come up beside them. He goes past Nick. He goes past Robert. That puts Robert Gamble officially on the lead lap. So he'll be starting his lap 34. As Wolf Dietrich Otto comes into the pits, he'll be starting his lap 34, Will Gamble. And that will put him on the same lap. It's going to be tough. He'll get past Wayne Hutchinson. That'll put him into P8. He'll probably get past Wolf Dietrich Otto. That'll put him into P7. All eyes at the moment on Robert Gamble. I think he might be taking this win.
Just about, though.
It's going to be tough, isn't it? It's going to be a tough one.
So all my predictions are like, well, I'm going to throw them up in the air.
I'm basically like making up 5 different predictions through the race. Be like, yeah, I think that's going to happen. No, that's going to happen. No, that's going to happen. And then at the end, I told you that was going to happen.
Yeah, we were right. 100%.
Oh, yeah. I could have had 17 predictions today, and I'm going to get it right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to get at least one right. Maybe.
Well, we can predict, though, that John Lang, as he currently sits P2, Nick Kuhn, by the way, did take his pit stop. We can predict that Lang is on the path to the championship title. I don't think he's got one hand on the trophy yet, as anything can happen, but like we said earlier, it is his championship to lose right now. But interesting, though, if Robert Gamble does win the race, because then John literally would have to just stay where he is.
But does
we
he
must
have
keep
to
an
pit?
eye on that. Yes, he will. Lang does have to pit. But then if he's currently P3 in the Mazdas,
P2.
he would need all of the radicals and the TCRs to get by him.
It's P2.
Yeah, but he's got to pit.
It's
You know,
difficult. It's difficult.
I'm just saying right now, if Gamble has the pace, I'm just saying we might want to keep eyes on that. But he is in a battle with Josh Wolf right now. So that's going to be interesting as the car does some really weird bouncing through the final corner. I'm not sure what happened there. It's going to be a tight one, if I'm brutally honest. But looking at the stats, lap 35 of 41, Gamble will come up to lap 36 of some of these drivers. Now, Gamble is 54 seconds away from Sam Harper. He's gaining 7 seconds a lap. Oh, he's not going to make it, is it? 7 seconds a lap. That's 8 laps. Hold on here. Robert's not going to do it. Unless they do pit stops. But Sam's already done his pit stop. As John Lang comes into the pits. Yeah, I'm not sure anymore, Rob. Can I use my other prediction?
Yes, you can. Well, he's in the pits now.
The Missed Apex podcast, guys. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. This is not a plug, Rob. I was doing some groundwork at the cricket field this week. I needed something to listen to. I started looking for iRacing podcasts, and one of the things that was suggested to me was the Missed Apex podcast. And had it been, had I had the time, I would have totally listened to all of it. Unfortunately. It was one of those things where it was like an hour long. With no offense to them, what I was doing wasn't going to take an hour, so I didn't want to come back to it. I like to listen in one block, but it's there. It's there. That's not a plug. Honestly, they do podcasts. It's not just the name of a team. They're gonna hate me for saying that, but they know what I mean.
A lot of sliding though.
A lot of sliding. How do you like your TCR battles, by the way? Because Joshua Wolf is still in the back of Robert Gamble.
When will he pass? That is the question.
Let's see if he's got a good run at the final corner. He does not. So we'll go around again. He'll catch up. He'll get a bit of dirty air through the start the track. If he gets a good run onto the backstretch, who knows? We may see an overtake. We'll keep eyes on this because, hang on, I say that. Gamble goes a bit late into the horseshoe. Different lines there by both drivers. But I think Gamble's held on for now. But Joshua Wolf is pushing. Now, these are the only two TCRs at the moment. Well, they're the only two TCRs at the moment on the lead lap. Jerry Morrison is still a lap down after the wall decided it was going to be a hugger and keep him with him. But also what's crucial with all the pit stops, Rob, Gavin Barber is now on the lead lap, as is Ross Banfield. That is going to be interesting. They've got 5 laps, am I right in thinking, to get it? Well, 6 laps, sorry, to get around. Can they do it?
My prediction, no. My prediction as of this point, John Lang. You know, it's difficult.
It is, isn't it? It really is difficult.
Because Joshua Wolf is not getting past Robert Gamble. He's not being released. He can do 2 seconds faster than Robert Gamble can. It's just not happening, though. Because he's stuck behind Robert Gamble.
Oh, and Gamble's had a slide there. Gamble's had a slide going down the roller coaster. But at the same time, we say that Gamble is trying to fight for the championship here. And through the roller coaster they go into 15 and 16 and 17. Can he get a run this time? Gap is 0.2 of a second. Maybe now is the time. He can get a little bit of speed here. There's quite a long straight when you think about it for TCR purposes. He might be able to get the run here. If he's going to get the run, it will be around the outside of the horseshoe. Going to be risky. They're side by side. Braking here. And it looks like Wolf's going to get this. I don't think Gamble fought it, but he's going to fight back right now. Around the outside goes Joshua Wolf. He's going to get that position. Leads the TCRs, or does he? Let's just wait to see if there's a response here from Gamble. There is not. Joshua Wolf leads the TCRs, but he's got a lot to do as they're on lap 37 of 41.
36 laps completed, 41 in total. We are coming to the by and bys, the end of the road here, and it is the end of the line. We're out of time, and it is going to be out of time for one man in particular, Joshua Wolf, being held up for a full lap behind Robert Gamble. Has cost him dearly. Extra seconds that he did not have in the first place. I don't think he'll make it to the top. It's a case of how far he'll make it up. Will he pass John Lang? Who will pass John Lang?
Nobody will pass John Lang. Well, John Lang's 11 seconds behind Robert Covey in P3. He's 17.5 seconds behind Nick Crum in the lead. Crum and Kuhn, that is hard to say. That's really hard to say. Are the close battle at the moment. I think Robert Covey's just had an off. Yeah, Robert Covey's just had an off. Lost it going into the horseshoe. The first corner gone a little bit too hot there. He's had an off. That will help John Lang. The more positions Lang gets, the safer his lead and the closer he gets to the championship. So he could use that position. He could use that position because then if everybody else gets by him and, say, Gamble wins, he doesn't have to worry. This could be a crucial position, but he's got to find 7 seconds in 4 laps. Tight one. That's a tight one.
And then, of course, not impossible, but
not impossible. And then also we do have the radical battle. Gavin Barber, Ross Banfield. These two battling as well. That battle's getting close. Banfield had a little bit of a tweak. Banfield's in more of a shot for the championship, but again, lap 48 or 41. He's got to catch up to all these drivers. He's a minute behind the rest of the Mazda field. Again, and look at it, they're all held up. All of them are held up here. Hello, everybody. Let's have a good old come together right here. Banfield wants to get past Barber. He can't. Barber wants to get past Gamble. He can't. Gamble's getting held up from Wolf. Wolf's now pulling away. Everybody just get held up there. That's a big issue for the likes of Banfield and Barber if they want to get a victory right here. And look at the move from Banfield! Go! Wow, what a move from Ross Banfield.
Banfield, absolutely. And he knows. He knows a time is running out. There's not many laps left. He needs to be pushing as hard as he can. Pass Oak Tree. Off he goes.
Sorry, I can't get over that move. Really can't get over that move. That was fantastic. That was just literally Banfield once again. Foot down, not caring. And he's now starting to just pull away from Gavin Barber as he leads the radical field. But has he got it in him? I need to see the times here. It was 1 minute 5 seconds. But with all the driving here, it's going to be about 1 minute 3, I reckon, with everything that's happened. So he's got to cross the line very shortly. He sees a radical Brett Tosin, who's a lap down after the struggles he's had. Jason Lottery is the first master. It's 2.5 seconds. Here we go. The time is 41 seconds. He has 2 laps to get 20 seconds a lap. Rob, he just did that previous lap, and he got held up. We could be seeing our first radical winner of the season in the final race.
I think Ross Banfield's already kind of seen it in his eyes. He's sped up.
I mean, I'm going to have to be talking to him about some of those moves. And here we go. Brett Tosin getting held up by Wolf Dietrich Otto. And then contact. And it's replay damage. And still, Banfield getting held up there. But it's not going to affect him. He almost came together there. In fact, there is a little bit of damage to the front of that car. That's actually quite a lot of damage to the front of that car. Is that going to affect him? I don't think so. While this is a very topsy-turvy, high-speed track, it's a very planted track with a lot of turning. He's 2.3 seconds away from Sam Harper. 2 seconds away from Sam Harper. Let's just watch him just go sayonara right by Sam Harper down the straight. 4 seconds away from John Lang. He's going to get this with a lap to spare, you know.
Oh, quite he might actually. Apparently his last was 1 minute. I somehow doubt that was the actual time that he said.
I have no idea. But he's right on the back of John Lang right here. Down the roller coaster, he takes that position. That puts him to P4. Next guy up the road is Robert Covey.
Come on, Banfield, you can do this. One more lap to go.
Well, 2 laps to go, but yeah.
Technically 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go. Nick Crum leading the way. Remember, we've still got other battles here. Just remember that. But Joshua Wolf is starting to pull away from Robert Gamble. But I just can't see these guys getting by. They are 50 seconds away from the rest of the Mazdas. And remember, that's 7 seconds they're gaining a lap here. So Ross Banfield really is the one in charge. He's gone past Robert Kobe now. Nick Kuhn, is going to be the next car. He's going to overtake him with no problems. It's going to be a battle here between Ross Banfield and Gavin Barber, I think. Because by the time they get up to the snake, Banfield's going to get past Kuhn here. And look at it. No issues. There it is, right there. He's going to overtake Crum before he gets to the roller coaster. Mark my words.
Your words are marked.
Prove me wrong, Rob. Prove me wrong.
Okay, you're probably right.
This is for the lead. For the first time this season, we're about to see a Radical lead the race. And there we go. I know it sounds anticlimactic, but at the end of the day, he's got the Mr. Meeseeks helmet on, and he's been told, Mr. Meeseeks, I want to win a race. Can do.
Yeah, just needs to keep it planted on the track now. That's all he needs to do. The work has been done. And John Lang needs to do all he can to keep as many positions as he possibly can with 1 lap to go.
So Ross Banfield will take the white flag in comfortable fashion. Gavin Barber now, he's now trying to make his way up. He's got the lap car of Brett Tosin, but there's Kurt Crum right in front of him, and he's just going to go, hi Kurt, bye Kurt, and Barber will take P2 overall in the race. No battles happening in the Mazdas at the moment. The TCRs are now starting to spread out. Really now is a case of who is going to be faster. I can't see Barber catching up here. 9 seconds is the gap as he gets held up by lap traffic. This is Ross Banfield's race to lose. The only car in front of him would be Wayne Hutchinson, and he's going to get to him by the time he gets to the oak tree.
Oh, that's going to be dicey to get around that. Oh, my crikey. Take it easy.
The confidence you have to have. Like, you know you're going over a crest there. And yet, just like that, he knows where the corner is. And with, like, no issues, he goes up. Yeah, I know this is straight. I'd be worried if that was me.
So would I.
So this is it. Onto the back straight. Banfield only has a handful of corners. Literally a handful of corners. Into 14. 14A. Down 14A. Into 15. Into 16. Into 17. It is a sweet 5th time the charm. Ross Banfield was close at Silverstone, but he gets it now. Ross Banfield wins at Virginia International Raceway. He does the celebratory zigzag around the track. And finally, we have a Radical victory in the Predator Series.
But he only won the race. But this John Lang can hold his head high. He may not have won this race, but I do think with the points that we have, minus the protests, the preliminary results, he will win the championship overall, as far as I'm aware.
I'm just doing some
maths
in my head, you know. By the way, Kurt Crum did get P3. Isaac Snyder did not get P4. I wouldn't say that's crucial. Unfortunately, Snyder not in any of the championship battles, but it does help. John Lang overall finishes 8th, 86 points for him. I'm just doing the maths right now.
7th.
Sorry, 7th was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 7th. Sorry, that makes it a little bit better because the way I look at it right now, I just got to check. Robert Gamble, nowhere to be seen. He finished behind. He's out of it. The only man that could have beat him then was Ross. So by my reckoning, unofficially, John Lang is your Predator Series champion. champion on 461 points. Ross finishes on 453 points. Just 8 points in it. But, and I may be incorrect, and Mike from Majors Garrett and Major Series will correct me from the way I'm looking at it. We do have a new champion in the Predator Series. So,
here comes the inevitable pause and doom as we try and figure it.
I'm just looking at it. I'm pretty sure. And I do love that somebody's just posting in the Discord, a radical wins! A radical wins!
Yeah, finally.
Finally, a radical wins. Yes, it is. It has finally happened that a radical has won. I'm just trying to like find out who gets the P3 here overall in the championship. Just running down. It looks to me like Robert Gamble will keep that. I might just again. Don't quote my words. Don't quote my words. Nick Kuhn still had his chance there, and he finished in P5. I might be wrong. And I am not wrong. By the looks of it, it does mean that P3 in the championship does go to the TCR, the TCR of Robert Gamble.
I think John Lang's out of fuel.
John Lang's out of fuel, but I'll tell you somebody who isn't out of fuel.
Oh no, he's not.
From start, there was a lot of speed, but one man I've never seen just go completely full speed around these corners. Ross, congratulations on being the first radical winner of the Predator Series this season.
Thanks. I can't believe I finally won one. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I know you were close at Silverstone, I believe. It was quite close, but this one, some of the moves, I've got to be brutally honest, you scared me with some of the moves there. I think there was a move at turn the final corner when I think it was Isaac just had a little bit of a slide, and you managed to just catch it into the inside. But going up 7, 8, and 9, the S's near the end there. I mean, did you just anticipate the space there? Because you were doing some really, to me, risky moves, but they just looked so seamless. So. Are you aware of the track? Because there's a lot of blind corners and blind crests, so it's obvious that you must have an idea of where the track goes and where the racing line goes.
Yeah, I do a lot of Porsche Cup and then the GT3 series races here. It's also the home track for me in real life, so definitely don't want to miss out on it.
So you're a local, and I gotta be honest, this is me, Rob's and myself's first time looking at VIR, and I've always been interested in VIR. What makes it special?
I'd say relative to the area around it, there's nothing like it. It's a pretty big track, and there's so many configurations. It never gets old, and in real life, the risk is definitely there, especially when it's your car. There's not much room for error.
No, we could see that with how narrow it is. So. That's interesting to see. Did you have any issues apart from? We know the opening section of the track was very tight for overtaking. Did you have any issues with the lap traffic around there today?
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw it, but there's a couple of times where I caught the grass coming up to the oak tree turn in the braking point, and then that upsets the car, and then you got to try and save it without going off the track into the wall. So there's a couple of times where I had that. Might as well get an underwear sponsor because I definitely need a new pair after a couple of those.
Well, I mean, not only have you, I think you've come P2 overall in the championship, just a close finish there, but it does mean you win the Radicals. So that's as much as it's not at the end of the day, the Predator Series winning the overall is the goal, but I'm guessing you're going to be celebrating that Radical victory.
Yeah, it feels good. It wasn't like I was on cruise control the entire time, so I was pushing for it, and it paid off. I'm glad I kept through it. It was really hard to tell if I was going to make it until the very end, and then once I saw they pitted, I knew that there was a good chance.
I think it was fantastic. Rob, I don't know if you got anything to add.
Yeah, how much were you just trying to get just try and power through and get things done? Because you made some absolutely heart and mouth moves.
Yeah, so from the last races, I kind of learned that if it is gonna have a chance, it's gonna be down to the wire. So any time behind the Mazdas would kill my lap time. I'd lose about a second. Even just hanging around them for one turn, you lose about a second. So I was trying to do the best I could to avoid any holdups. So that was kind of why I went for the desperate dives. I know that they don't have downforce, so they're going to drift wide on every apex. So I was just trying to go for the inside.
I know you got to be sad that it's going to be the end of the Predator series for this year.
Yeah, it's been a fun run. But I'm looking forward to see next season what we got. Hopefully it just gets pushed to off the major season, because that's the hard part of this, is just kind of balancing them both.
I imagine so, but a bit of pleasure, broadcasting is and racing with, or well, not racing with you, but watching as the madness unfolds for every race. So we hope to see you again next year, if at all we do.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you very much, Ross. I'll tell you what, I think it's time we get the champion in. We've spoken to P2. Can I can't drag him in. What is going on with my computer?
I got you.
You got me. There you go. There we go. Sorry, John. I was having issues dragging in there, but let's ignore that. Let's get the fanfare. John Lang, Predator Series champion. How does it feel?
Thank you very much. Good evening, guys. Yeah, really good first championship, and yes, super happy about that. That's it's a really weird one to win as well, with the multi-class but the same rate like the Predator. It's as you're going round, you're trying to think, can he beat me? You don't know how many laps down people are. And yeah, so I just thought drive pretty much as fast as I can and minimise mistakes. So I've made a couple. But yeah, it ended up being a reasonable race for me. I think we've had a few other people join that are super quick, and I had no pace to them, but reasonable race for me, and glad that the numbers are crunched and I've done the championship. That's great news.
So talk, it's great. So talk us through that race, because I know you were looking to try and see where there was or anything. Did you have a goal of winning that race today, or was it just more, try and get as high up as you could?
I think I'd seen the practice times, then the qualifying times. I knew there was a couple that had made that I wouldn't have caught, and I think there's a few in Sportsman that were I was possibly faster, but not 40 seconds faster over the race. So I wasn't. Well, I was aiming for the championship, I suppose, overall, but not quite knowing exactly who to let through and who to defend against, or if I even had an option of doing it with a radical coming up behind me so quickly. It was just try and get out and go as fast as I could, and hopefully that was enough to do. I think I did well in the beginning of the season to get a little points head start for now.
Yeah. Talk me through the whole experience of a radical, because it's different, because we've been Watkins Glen, we've been Silverstone, we've been Charlotte Roval, we've been on big tracks, and now we're at VIR, and it's a tiny track. So talk us through that, because the first part of the track is very hard for anybody to get overtaking full stop, but then you get to the long straights and the S's and everything. Just talk us through the experience of just seeing a car, when you're ready to turn, just go right by you with no issues.
I mean, there was two things to this. It was a new track for me, and the sessions were set up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I learned and practiced the track in the dark, not realizing that so much of the race would be in the daylight. I think I was speaking to Sam Harper, who told me, the race will be in daylight. So I did a few more laps just to make sure that nothing was super weird in the day, in the daytime. But so learning tracking in the dark, it's a really fun track. I really enjoyed it, actually. Some really long straights, and I mean, all season, everybody's been pretty well behaved. From overtaking from the faster classes, better than some endurance series, other endurance series that we've done, multi-class, not with majors but elsewhere. So yeah, I think mostly respectful. Just not lunges, but if you're in a faster car, you want to get past, and if you're in a slower car, you need to use the whole track. There's not enough grip to just hold it on the inside of a corner half the time. So yeah, it was really good fun.
So what next for John Lang, Predator Series champion?
Well, if Predator's back next year, I'm on it. I'd like to attempt to defend the title. I don't know if I'd change class or not, but or if we'll be doing different cars. I'm not too sure. I'm running the road races in the major series, so I've got the F1 coming up. I think you guys seen it with my previous attempts. I get quite far up for my ability and then stick it in the wall quite quickly. So I don't see the F1 going much different than that, to be honest. It's a tricky beast, but a couple of weeks to practice on that, and and hopefully I can just keep it on the road for an hour and a half. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. Rob, I don't know if you've got anything else to add.
I don't, other than congratulations, John. Well
Thank
done
you very
on winning.
much.
You did very well. Absolutely superb result for you. And we hope if we're back again next year, we hope to see you back in the Predators.
Yeah, thanks for the commentary as well, guys. Can I just give a quick, massive shout out to my son Greg. He's babysat the young baby for me for this race. We had nobody else, so he's currently got the baby up asleep in his bed. So I'm going to go and relieve him of that. But he's been a star. Both our boys have been great with the little baby. So shout out to them for letting me practice and get on when I have to, when I can't. Can't sort of anything out otherwise.
Yeah. Oh, good. You have a good son there,
They're all good.
But until next time we speak to you, John, take care and enjoy your win, your championship.
Thank you very much. See you guys.
All the best, John. Rob, I think, unfortunately, that's it.
I know.
What a championship. I've enjoyed this so much for our first time. It's been fantastic, and I want to give a shout out once again to the Major Series for allowing us to bring this quirky, interesting. I could find every word in the thesaurus because I've really enjoyed this whole idea of the series, and it's been fantastic for us. So, thank you to the Major Series for providing us the opportunity once again. And if you like what you've seen from us, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. That's right, I'm getting the show in right now. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. If you do like what you see, we do have a Discord underneath our video here and a link to trackcams22.com providing these cameras. But until then, we are back for the Major Series, September the 12th. As John was just saying, he spoilt my fun. The Italian Grand Prix, the F1 cars, the old F1 cars at Monza. Me and Rob cannot wait to give that to you. So I don't think Rob's got anything else to add. Have you, Rob?
No, other than it's been a pleasure broadcasting the Predator series for you guys. We hope to see you again in the future. And join us for that absolutely great Grand Prix, because I'm going to be screaming my heart out just like Murray Walker did.
And I'm going to be like Crofty. But that's not our real names. These are our real names because I have been Craig King.
And I have been Robert O'Brien.
And this is Raidillon TV, the only corner you need. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.